Hey guys, it's Monday after opening weekend. I'm clearly at work here. I debated putting this video together because I'm just going to be open and honest. We had a complete bust on the weekend, although we only put a few hours in. Dave and I had planned Saturday morning. My friends Matt, Ron, and Cindy were coming in from Minnesota, so we wanted to meet up with them, and I had something that I wanted to get from them to give to Dave, which you guys are going to see. So then I picked Dave up at like 2 o'clock with my daughter, and we headed out. And on our way out to the lake, we could see this storm system, clouds starting to roll through. And we got on the lake right about the time where we got this weird wind switch from like the east around to the north, and it started to cool down. We did see a couple fish. Dave had one hit. I had a couple blow up. Katie had one follow in on a topwater. And I didn't actually save any footage. It got a little bit. We're trying cameras in some new positioning. For us, if you guys watched our Friday Night Live with Dave and Kyla, we don't usually get super excited about opener. We've been let down so many times in the past that we just use it as a day to make sure everything's up and running and working the way we want, and kind of get back into the, our old habits. So it's upsetting that, we didn't catch anything. I did hear reports of a lot of fish being caught Saturday morning prior to the storm, and then Sunday was a complete write-off. We had tornado warnings, heavy rain, heavy wind, and it lasted from like 12 o'clock all the way through the night. It's still raining today on Monday following opener. So it's a weird, cool weather front on Saturday. As you're gonna see in this video, it went from 31, 32 degrees Celsius in the morning to when we hit the lake, it was down to like 21. And by the time we got off the lake, it was like between 12 and 16 on the ride home in certain spots. So it cooled off dramatically. The fishing obviously cooled off. Gonna give you guys a glimpse into the prep of what goes into getting stuff ready in the boat for us. So it's a look at a day in the life of an unsuccessful musky angler, as it were. And I'll let you guys watch this if you want. And afterwards, I'll come back with a couple kind of final thoughts as we wrap this one up. I think there's still some valuable stuff in here. And it was interesting that we got to go for a little bit of an adventure into some new to us water. It is, I think, around 8:36 a.m. on Musky Opener. And you would think self-proclaimed musky nuts like Dave and I would already be out, but we don't generally take opening day super serious. Any of you that watched our live last night as we prepped for the season will have a sense of what it is we're doing, but throughout today we'll kind of explain to you guys, why it is we make the decisions we make on opener, and why we don't get super excited for these first, week or 2 weeks of the season before July when things really set up. But because I want to try and take you guys along on what it is we prep for the day, I'm going to include, just getting some stuff ready here. Been working on installing a new graph in the boat. That's ready to go. I just got to download some mapping from Garmin for that. And we'll start putting some gear in the boat that we're going to need today, and put the lures we're taking, which we talked about last night live, put those in the boat, and just take you guys along for a ride as we build up to the first cast of the season. All right, it's hot, humid, muggy, just heavy air. Slowly getting everything loaded up. I got to do a couple runs around town here before I kind of finalize everything and go meet Dave just after lunchtime, meet our friends Matt, Ron, and Cindy. If they're up here, they're getting held up at the border. currently just from a big lineup, everybody coming up. I just wanted to run through a few of the things that we put in the boat every year, and this right here is a big tool kit. I did do a video on it a bunch of years ago. I think we'll redo that one at some point of, you know, all the stuff I put in here for my particular 2 rigs. And we run into a problem a bunch of years ago where we didn't have the proper tools. Now we got it, so that goes in the back by me. First aid kit, mandatory in Ontario. We have lots of everything. I actually went through and made a list. I got to pick up a couple things. Some Visine for people if you get anything in the eyes. Polysporin to put on, you know, wounds or anything like that. Afterbite, which is important, and I'll probably grab some Benadryl and put in there just in case anybody gets an allergic reaction to whether it's the pollen or a bug bite. And then obviously lots of Band-Aids. We have lots in here, but we're going to restock up on some of that. Got a little case here with cutters, scissors, split ring pliers, a sewing tape if we want to do girth on a fish, and then this little pouch here, I keep all my release tools in here. This is all just redundant stuff, but you have to be prepared. So I got in here, I got a file, forceps, Nip-X cutters, short needle nose pliers, long needle nose pliers, some cutters, and a few other just miscellaneous items. You got to have all that stuff, guys, and it's got to be somewhere where you can get to it quickly. And then in this little case, it's a waterproof dry case, have my remote for the trolling motor, some matches, a lighter, our boating operating license, and we generally put our wallets in there and or our phones just in case anything happens. Jaw spreaders, these are old, don't use them very often, but always have them in the boat, and you can never have too many files. This is a real cool one that Sticky Hook Files did for us with our logo on it. In Silver Jailbird. One of the new things I did this year, actually we'll just touch on this. In Ontario, you have to have life jackets in the boat. I don't know what the ruling is for US citizens, but for Canadian citizens, if you have CSA approved life jackets, they have to be in the boat. You don't have to wear them. But if you only have self-inflate life jackets like this, you have to wear them if you do not have a regular life jacket in the boat. So just check the regulations on that. We always double up on that. But something new this year right here is a Milwaukee pack out case, and I tried to simplify our hook and terminal tackle storage this year. So this is a bit of a test run, so I will run through this on a later date, but I just put some weights, some magnets, split rings, leaders, scissors, file, hooks from 2/0 up to 7/0, and I believe I have a couple 8/0. I would change, you know, what we have in here based on the season. Trolling time in the fall, probably have more of those, you know, the bigger wide gap 7s and 8s and a few 9s for some of the really big baits, but real easy to just pull each individual thing out, keeps it fairly organized, and this will fit right on the side of the boat here. I'm hoping, I haven't really tried, so we're gonna see how this works out, but I like the simplicity of it. It's got a dry seal on it. It should protect our hooks and our terminal tackle. What else we got going on here? Come towards the back here. So right here, new Garmin I added. The other Garmin that we've used last year, and then we always run a Hummingbird here for the auto chart mapping. And we're not going to be shy. We are going to use the Garmin, the Live Scope. It's going to be part of what we do. I know there's some of you that, you know, don't like the fact that we use it. I get that. You know, that's your opinion. That's your, you know, your prerogative to not watch our stuff. We don't use it as it's the only tool. We use it as a tool, and we will try to explain why it is we're using it, when we use it, if it helps us catch a fish. We'll try and go through all that. So just getting that Garmin rigged up, I'm having trouble getting the mapping installed for some reason. Keeps disconnecting from the active captain, but that won't deter us for today. Other than that, I got the holders for the Net Buddy nets on both sides at the front. Got the Net Buddy nets coming with us. We are going to bring our brand new bump board. And other than that, I think we're pretty much set up. Gonna try some new stuff with the cameras this year. So today will be a little bit of an exploratory thing on, you know, what we can do with getting some different shots. So I'm gonna finish up the install here on the Garmin. Pretty much got it done. I gotta do a run into town, and then I'll check back with you when we are kind of getting ready to pick up David and head out on what's gonna be opening day. I will touch on quick here. I'm just going to load up the Wreck and Rack box with the lures we're taking today, and I'll come back to you guys. Okay, probably the last step here is loading up the Wreck and Rack box with some baits. And those of you that watched last night know that our plan today is to only use what we got at the Milwaukee Musky Expo. So something different for us. Gonna just, give you guys a quick rundown of what we're taking. We got like a box full here. I'll just give you guys a quick idea of what it is that we got. I'm gonna take a few minutes to untangle this before I start showing you guys. Okay, in no particular order here, we'll just start with some stuff from Musky Mayhem. We got the single girl flash in that ghost with chartreuse, and I got it in this cranberry motor oil color, which actually on the lake I'm going to, one of my clients did really well. Got the rabid squirrel that I'm really looking forward to throwing. Next on the list is a few things from Pandemonium. I got the little Crystal 7, really cool little bait. Looking forward to trying that one today for sure. And then we got two Elite 8s in peanut butter and jam, one with a blue anodized blade and one with a frosted tip. Throw those in. Next from Pandemonium, we have a Marvin 88, black and green, looks killer. Throw that one in. That one's David's. And then we got a few baits here from Hunsy Tails. This is the 7/8 Banger XL. And then I have a 7/8 regular Banger. And I don't have it here, but I'm gonna grab an 8/9 out of my shop to take with us. So I'll throw that one in. And the last bucktail here is the big heavy one from the one from Revolution Angling. And this one I'll probably throw today. This is a 10/9. Okay, next on the list here, I'm gonna start with the soft tail from Ridgway. Love the way this one looks in the water. Really think that's gonna be end up being a special bait for us this year. And this one here, this rainbow trout from B&N Customs, Dave's got, it looks awesome. Haven't had a chance to throw it yet, but I think it's gonna be another one that's gonna be killer for us if we find the right spot to use something like that. We have Big Guy Baits, looks really cool. And the last little crankbait I have here is this little one from B&N Customs, and holy Hannah, it's hot out here. Now it is going to be so warm out on the lake. As far as crankbaits go, we have the Baker. I am going to throw a trolling rod in just in case, you know, things are not really transpiring the way that we were expecting. And then Dave's got the Phantom Hex. Awesome trolling bait. We've caught on this in the past. Not that particular one, but I have. And something I didn't show last night is a couple of the new baits from new last year from Spanky. This is the M7, this is the M9. So we're gonna try these out today. If we get a chance, we'll try and throw those a little bit. And got 2 dive and rise from CC Lures. One is the bladed and one is the tail. I've thrown the tail one in the water. Looks really cool. We'll definitely give those a little go today and see, you know, what it is we think of those. That's the only 2 dive and rise we have. And then we have the Gladiators from Zilla. A lot of hype around these baits. We're looking forward to seeing if we can replicate a little bit of that up on our waters here. So, you know, we're looking forward to it, and it'll be, you know, the proof will be in the pudding if we get anything on it. We have a couple top waters. I got the One-Eyed Willie from Stealth, and let me turn this way. And we got the big guy, Little Rooster. I think we're gonna lean on that one quite a bit early part of the season. And then here's an 8-9 banger that David had. I'm gonna grab one more out of my shop. And last but not least, I only have 1 tube. This is one of the tubes I got from Mark in Milwaukee. I just rigged it up with a little blade on it. Gonna take that. That's our only rubber, to be honest with you, which is shocking. And I do have a replacement tube, so I'll throw that in there. So the only thing I'm gonna grab is an 8-9 banger. That's it, that's all we're taking. For lures, we either get it done with that or we just don't get it done. So hopefully, you know, we'll be back later where you guys will have some footage around this to say, you know, something worked, something didn't. We'll keep you guys updated as the day goes, because limiting ourselves to this, there's a lot here, but you never know what the fish are gonna want. So we're gonna see. Yep. Check this out, Dave. Check out what Lonnie did on this one.
What the fuck? What's this for?
That's from Matt, Ron, Cindy, and I.
Well, for why?
Just because, for everything you do for 54 bust, and
that's deadly, dude.
You said you wanted something for some rubber, so that's a 9 foot extra heavy, so it's a little bit heavier than like a big nasty.
Yeah, but that's perfect though.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate that.
So we weren't, Matt wasn't sure what to do color scheme. I'm like, just keep it pretty simple.
Murder it out.
And he's like, you want any painting? I'm like, Dave wanted pretty simple. And I was just like, we were trying to think of a saying. We're like, yeah, hook sets are free. So
awesome.
There you go. Throw a reel on it and try her out. She's brand spanking.
We have the technology to make that work.
Awesome.
We have the technology. I'm making sewer rod too.
What is this called?
We're going to the Nelson.
Is this what you're saying? Quite skinny through there. Looks like a boat's already came through here, but no, that's just how the wind is hitting the water.
It's gonna get shallow, bud. Probably only about 1.5 feet. Probably only about 1.5 feet.
Yeah, it's quite
right there. It's really shallow. Yeah, we're okay. This is deeper. Right in the middle, you're good, I think. That way. Okay, straight. Trim it right up, Glenn. It's just sticks, but
What's that?
trim it up.
It's like all sticks here.
Okay.
Gust of wind is grabbing.
Yeah.
Did we make her, Katie?
Yeah.
Still showing 3 feet.
Green here.
Yeah.
Nice green. Oh, they're still, but we're okay.
4 feet.
We're starting to boulder up like
There, now she's dropping. That's the drop off right there. 8 feet. How's the day going so far, Katie?
Good,
Good.
but cold.
Good on the snacks and the drink department.
it's going good.
It's going good. How many muskies do we see?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Like
I'm gonna say 2.
Yeah.
And it could have been the same one. Not really much of anything going on.
Well, we spent a couple hours exploring too.
Dave did see one chasing on the bucktail, and I had on the big guy, and I just seen a flash of the tail, and then I actually seen it swimming away on the scope. And then you move something, it could have been a bass, hard to tell.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. But we've been exploring. We don't really have too much for expectations. We're just gonna kind of play it by ear. We're visiting some friends here at camp. We're not going to show you where we're at just at the moment, and we'll get back out for probably what, a couple hours, Dave?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, right on. Talk to you guys in a bit. Musky fishing can be cruel. I think in today's social media world, we're tempered to believe that everybody catches every time out, and when you don't, it feels like it's a failure or something. And I think we need to get past that as an industry and as a community, because I think for a long time just getting out and seeing fish was a win, but now it's gotten to the point where if you don't catch between 1 and 3, it's not a successful day. And again, going back to, like I said at the beginning, for us, it's about getting out on the water. The fish are always a bonus, so like we always think of it as a bonus, but beyond that, it's positive to just get through the motions of your first trip. And for us, because our season starts so late, we really don't have any opportunities to go anywhere else close by to do any kind of musky fishing. We could go for pike, but you're not using the same equipment. You don't really get a chance to go for muskies until Musky Opener. And that's just, the god-awful truth up here. So for us, all in all, it was an okay day. We stopped, visit with some friends, met some new people. That was good. Had some chances, it just didn't work out for us. And I think we need to embrace that sometimes you're just not gonna catch. You know what? For one of our more successful years, check out the video right here where we had what we would call a successful opener with 4 fish in the boat. And that's just not normal. Normal is a lot of times just embracing the skunk.